Hello, my name is Kyle, and I want to walk you through my GMAT journey, which I was able to score a 710 in the 90th percentile. So my journey began January of this year after I graduated college with a degree in finance, and I knew that I wanted to pursue a master's degree in finance. So I began preparing for the GMAT, and I had no previous experience or prep before that time. And I always knew that I could perform well on college exams or AP exams, but standardized tests such as the SAT or ACT were always my Achilles heel. And the reason is because much of the material that is tested on these exams, as well as the GMAT, was either learned long ago in middle school or early high school, and I forgot it, or I just never, frankly, had a strong foundation. And what these tests do, particularly the GMAT, is they take these basic or foundational skills that are taught and they repackage it in sophisticated ways. So it's really essential to be well versed in it or have those skills in your back pocket. So I began my journey looking for different prep programs. I knew I needed a lot of help, and I looked at Princeton Review and Kaplan, and I ultimately decided on Target Test Prep. The reason why I chose Target Test Prep is one, because it had a reasonable price, but two, I was impressed with its curriculum. As I said before and kind of alluded to, it was really important to me to not be told what the correct answer was, but be told why. So really having a deep understanding of the skills and material that would be tested so that I could perform well when given any problem. That was something I deeply valued and was looking at when looking at different programs. In total, my journey with Target Test Prep was about 4 months, and something that I don't think is said enough is just how much hard work it takes to get a good score on the GMAT, at least for me. And I think a majority of people would agree with it, that you have to do those reps, you have to put that work in, you have to lift that weight. And Target Test Prep is a perfect gym. They give world class, they give you all the tools you need. You ultimately just have to lift that weight and you have to grind. The GMAT is somewhat correlated, as people say. I've spoken with different admissions officers with material that is reviewed in different programs, but I think ultimately it's a test just to gauge how much is your commitment to graduate school, how much can you suffer, how determined are you, what is your commitment. So I think I just wanted to make that clear of what this prep is all about. But as I said before, you put the work in, Target Test Prep will get you there. So my journey was interesting because it wasn't always smooth sailing to get to that score. I actually took the GMAT twice, and the first time I took it, this was about a month and a half in the program, and I was short pressed for time. I thought I could do it. I wanted to see how I'd perform, and my score was a 530. So I was very disappointed, and I was confused why I did so poorly, but then I thought about it, and I basically just read through all the material and never did any practice problems. And I equate it to sports like golf or baseball. You can read a book about it, but ultimately what will develop the skill is actually swinging that club or hitting that ball. And that is probably the greatest advice I could give, is beyond going through the foundational materials, making sure you're getting those reps in and doing those practice problems. I did about maybe 2,500 Target Test Prep problems, spent around 400 to 500 hours on the program in total. And that is what led both metaphorically and literally a 180 degree turnaround from a 530 to a 710 score. And to kind of wrap this up, if there's any other advice that I could give about the process, would be to try and follow the program. They were very intentional with it. So make sure to read the curriculum or the material and then test the skills with the practice problem at the same time. Don't just skip around. And the second thing is to take notes. While they do have a great section, it's called Must Know, and they have bullet points of key material. I found it, and they also have a formula sheet for the math section, but I found it really important to kind of have my own conceptual framework. So I took about 20 pages of math notes on the different subtleties within each module or chapter so that I could review and better understand the material. So that's one, taking notes. Two, another thing I found is helpful is at the end of the program, it's recommended to take the 6 GMAT practice tests. I did 3 or 4 of them, but if you have time to take them all. But I found particularly useful was buying the official GMAT prep book. It's only like $40, and the main use is just to go through more official practice problems. And I found it useful that if you're weak in a certain section, which I was with sentence correction, it's a subset, it's a type of question problem in the verbal section, that I was able to, instead of going through another practice test, for example, and only getting 13 problems out of 36 on that topic, I was able to go in the textbook and do 100 of those problems. And I found that strategy was really helpful. So just 2 little things I thought were helpful. Then to wrap it up, I would say in review that Target Test Prep really has put together a great program. I'm doing this review, which is full circle because I actually decided to enroll in the program after I listened to a similar review. And it really is the reason for my 710 score other than the effort I put in. So I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that this was helpful.